Welcome back. In today's video, we are going to build a quiz app using Next.js 13. So this is what we are going to build in this video. Okay, we are going to build this app, a quiz app, and let me show you how it works. So if someone comes to the app and selects a wrong answer, so for instance, let's first refresh, and then we start with the first question, which has options. What does HTML stand for? And the answer here is hypertext markup language. If I select a wrong one, like hyper2 here, it shows me the I've selected the wrong one, and it also highlights the correct one. If I go to next, and here which HTML tag is used to create a hyperlink, we know it is the anch tag. If I click on the anch tag, okay, it shows that this is the correct answer and it moves on. If I go to next, what is the correct way to comment? It is this first one. If I click it, I go to next. Now let me just say which CSS property is used to change the text color of an element. The answer is color. Let me select a wrong one, like text. It shows me that the correct answer was color, and I selected this one. And then next, now we are on the last question. You see that we are on 5 out of 5. I want to select the correct answer, which is cascading style sheet, like that. And if I click next, it's supposed to end the quiz. So if I click that, you see it says your scores, and you say you have scored 3 out of 5. And here you can see it has also this button, start the quiz again. So if I click on start the quiz again, it starts from 1. So this is the app you're going to build. Let's dive in. So here with me, I have a fresh installed Next.js 13 application. I have not done much. I've just changed it here in the app, and I've just replaced it with this, and with this class quiz app. Okay, and then another changes I've made is in the CSS. Okay, I've put reset the margins back to 0. I've put the body to this linear gradient. I've also set it to have the content in the center, and then I also have the quiz app, which I gave the width 40 view width, background color. Actually, yeah, so we have this background color of white, we have some padding, and this box shadow, and this is how the app looks right now. So what you want, what I also have the questions. Okay, I have my questions here, and I'm exporting them, as you can see. So these questions, each question has an ID, has the question itself, has the options, okay, and then has the answer. So for each question has the same thing, just like that. It has the options, it has the answer, and then it has the question. Okay, so if we go in the app, in the page here, okay, so we can first bring in those questions. So you can just say const. You can import questions. Okay, just get the questions just like that. So we have our questions in the app, and let's first work on the UI very fast. So if you check on our design here, we have the question. So we can just have the question, the header, we have the footer, and when we have the body. So I'm just going to say the quiz here. I will have 3 parts: the quiz header, okay, quiz header. So in the quiz header is where I have the heading, awesome quiz application. So I'm just going to come here and put h2, awesome quiz application. Okay, I'm just going to have the quiz body. So after the header, I will have the quiz body dot quiz body. Now this is where all the questions will be here. Questions will be here. Let me just work on the footer. So we have also the quiz footer dot quiz footer. Okay, we have the quiz footer, and in the quiz footer we have the pagination. So if you check in the footer, we have the pagination and the button. So I'm just going to put 1 out of 5. So I'm just going to come here and I'll put maybe a p tag saying 1 out of 5. Okay, and then we also have the button. So just have the button, and I'm just going to say next. Okay, which says next. So that is the app. So for now, what I'm just going to do is I want to first style it so far. So in the global, I will have this quiz, and let me first of all give this one a display flex, and let me give flex direction to be column, the quiz app, and then let me also give a gap of 1 rem for now, and then let's target the quiz header. So the quiz header. Okay, so we can give this one maybe text align center. Do we need to put it to the center? Let me first look at it. Okay, and let's look at the design. Okay, and we can give it also the header, the border bottom. I just say 1 pixel solid blue. Okay, and let's give also padding bottom of 1 rem. Okay, yep, that is good enough. Okay, so now then we have the footer. So here I'm just going to duplicate this one. Okay, so quiz footer. Here I'm just going to put the footer. So text align, we don't need this. In this one we need border top. Okay, and this one maybe we make this one to be gray, and then padding, maybe padding top. Okay, and then let's say display flex, and justify content center, and justify content space between, and let's also give it align items center. Okay, let's look at that. Okay, so we have here the app looking already good. Let's work on the button. So first of all, for each individual button, okay, we're just going to say for now border none, and let's just see padding top and bottom. Let's see 0.8 rem and then 2 rem. Let's look at that. Okay, so for the next, Okay, let's give it a background color. So I'll just use one of these colors here, and then let's say color, and also use this color here. Let's see. Okay, and then let's also here give a border radius of 10 pixels. Okay, then see. Okay, so this the next button, let's give also cursor pointer. Cursor pointer. Okay, so now yeah, it is looking good. It has there, and then let me just increase this. I can just say quiz footer dot quiz footer, and then let me select the p tag. I just want to increase the font weight, okay, to bold, just like that, just to make sure that it looks much bolder. Okay, so that is it, and let's work on the question, rendering those questions in between. So we could just use like buttons here. We could render them in buttons. So you can just say, for instance, let's just see. So the quiz body, a minute, we are inside the quiz body. So in the quiz body we have two things. Okay, we have the question. If we check the design, back on the design, we have the question, which is going to be like H1. What does HTML stand for? Okay, so just going to have H1. What does HTML stand for? So that is the question, and then we have the options. Okay, options, and these options, let's have them as buttons. You can have them as buttons or anything. Button times 4. So I just put here random 5. Okay, and I'm just going to copy this random to all of them. So here, okay, so we have this first button ends here, so let me just do this. So we have the second button here, just cut this to here. Okay, then we have this button here, it ends here. We have another one just like that. Okay, so you have those buttons with those texts. Let's see how they look like. Okay, this is how they look like. So first of all, this one has a number. Let me see, it has a number just like that. Okay. So let's work on the options. Okay, so dot options, first of all, is display flex. display flex direction column. Let's see that they should now be, and now let's give them align items, and let's say flex start. I think no, I have to align items or flex. Oh yeah, okay. So, and we can give them a gap of maybe 0.5 rem, and then the options dot options, and then select a button. Okay, so just give it a border of 1 pixel solid gray. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, that one looks good enough. Okay, then to the options, let's give padding top and bottom 1 rem, on the sides 0. Okay, I think let's give also on the sides. Let's give also on the sides. Let's just keep it 1 rem everywhere. Yep. So we have the question. We have these options. We have here the options, and here the border radius in this button. I want to change the border radius to 5 pixels instead. Okay, and then let's look at the design. Okay, so we're not going to give any background color. We'll just give the okay. I think that looks okay to me. We can just give them the background color of white. Background color of white, just like that. Okay, so they look okay. So now what we want to say is, if someone clicks on the wrong answer or the right answer, so they just have the classes for the right, or just say correct. Okay, correct answer. Yes, we have the correct answer. So correct answer, we are going to give it background color of, let's say, of sky blue. Is it supposed to be sky blue or green? Let me just say green, and we can just modify this green maybe. Let me just look at that, and let me just give this class correct answer to one of these buttons. Let's just say this class name, just give that. Okay, so we need to see how it changes the one with the, for some reason it is not changing. We are changing the background color, really. Correct answer background color. Just say options. Okay, just say options. Okay, and then I think it will work now. Yep. Yeah, so let me just look at this, how it was designed. So it has, in fact, it has color of the color, that color. So this one, let's make it to be the color. Okay, just like that. And let's also change the background color to CC, maybe just say beige, something like that. You can just put any color here. Azure, maybe that is it Azure? Yep, you just look at that. Okay, let's just change, simply change. Let's put automatic changes, like here let's put a green, and I can first get this. Yeah, just leave that green is okay. Okay, I'm just going to put that green. If you wanted to add a checkbox, you can add it. I'm not going to add the check, but that one is good enough. And then the wrong answer, let's do options. Okay, here let me change this to red, and the background color, let me make it red. Okay, so this one is going to be for the wrong answer. So let me just get this, put it on one of the buttons, like wrong answer, class name, wrong answer, and let's see. Okay, so this is the wrong answer. Color has to be, is it white or black? Anyways, you can just go ahead and really put in the colors. You can see you have the right answer, the wrong answer, and the normal option. Okay, so maybe the color I make it either black. Let me just see color. We can just remove the color so that it remains black, and let's see. Yep, they remain black, and this one just like that. So we have the UI done. This is the UI. Now what is remaining is the logic. Okay, so first of all, let's get the question. I can first set the first state here. So I'm just go back to the app, and let me first say const. Okay, so the first state I'm just going to have is the current question. Want first to know what is the current question that is being run. Set current question, and this is equal to use state. Okay, get it from React on top here, and let's set it to let's first set it to null or to empty right now. In fact, by default, I don't know if we set it to be 0. Let's set it to be 0, and then if we use state here, we must make this as a, let's remove this image and these styles. Okay, so just make this one to be use client, so that because we are using a React hook. So I'm having the first state as the current question. So why I'm setting the current question, we have to know which question are we on. Okay, so by default, since we want if you go back to our questions, by default we want it to be this first question, to be this 0 index. So this I'm putting here is the index. I'm putting here is this is 0 index, meaning we are displaying the first question here. You get it? Yeah, so the question here is that. Okay, so now what we can do is we can also have the question. So you just say const. This one I don't think it needs to be what. So if I just going to get a question out of questions, it should be questions at current question. You get, so here I will be having this question. So since we are starting at 0 index, this question will be the question at the first index, which is this one. You get, so I'm getting my current question, I'm setting it to 0 index at first, okay, and then I'm using this current to set the question. So the question is that, so if I come here in this quiz app, okay, I can just say here in the quiz body, so here I can just say this is for the question. I just want to say it is question dot question, and then this one, let's set it to be the ID. So just say question dot, and let's say ID. Okay, so then this one, these options, we are going to loop through them. So let me remove these things. I need only one. Okay, I need only one button to loop through. So I'm just going to come here and I say map. So you're just going to say question question dot options, and then on the options we run a map, and then on the map we'll have an option, okay, and then we can just return let's return let's return this button, and then here we are returning an option, just like that. So we have question dot options, and we are mapping through these options, and then we access an option inside these options, and then inside this button we put an option. So if we go back now, we should just have rendered the question, and then all the answers are here. Okay, so the first thing we want to work on is, and by the way, there is also pagination, okay, and then there is also this next. The first thing we want to work on is when someone clicks any of these options. So let's first create one thing here. I'm just going to create a function called handle option select. So handle option select. Okay, so this is my function. Okay, so it should take in the option. Okay, and basically we have to have a state for the option, the selected option. So let's just have another state here on top. So const, I'm just going to say selected. Okay, set selected. You can just have here selected option. Okay, and I can say set selected option, and at first is equal to use state, and then let's set it to empty, so we don't have the selected. So here the first thing, when someone clicks, once a set the selected option to be as option. Okay, so this, if I just we have this function, which accepts an option, and then it sets the selected option, my spelling of selected option here, even here it should be option. Selected option should be to option. That is the first thing. So let's go to on click. So on this button, we're just going to say on click. Okay. On click, what we want is we're just going to have handle option select, and then let's put in the option. So remember, we have the option here. When we map through questions.options map, and then we have an option inside the button, that's why I'm able to pass it to this function. So on click, we run a function called handle option select, which we pass in the option, and then it sets the option to be this option. So if I say console.log, let me just say console.log here, option, selected option. So if I just go now to the app, let me go to F12, okay, and just single thing here on quiz app. I just want on responsive at media, just at media max width, just 900 maybe pixels. Let's set this to so this is not I was thinking we are working in SAS. So media max width, just select .quiz, the quiz app, and then let's give it a width of 100 view width. Okay, so that we don't have these they have to look like that. Maybe we should just set it maybe to 90 or 80 so that it looks somehow good. Okay, that is okay. Okay, so now I want to go to the console. Okay, just go to the console and let me refresh. Okay, so I select, when I just come and I select like this first one, and you can see hyper markup language. If I select this one and then like hyper text markup language, so I'm having here I can select something. Okay, now what we want is if we select, okay, so let's start here. So we can put some things here on the class. So we haven't put the class name. So here we have two options of class name. We have the correct answer. If I just come here and I say correct answer, okay, just like that. If I do that, you will see that they all turn into the correct answer. So if I just say wrong answer, okay, if I say wrong answer, you said they all turn red. So what you want is to optionally check which one is the correct answer. Okay, so that we put a class here. You get? So let's see what is how are we going to do this here. So I'm just going to have the logic. So we are going to say we are going to use the selected option. Okay, so if the option let me say if the option, so remember we have the option here, is equal to, so if the option that is here is equal to is equal to question, okay, is equal to question dot dot answer if the option is equal to question dot answer. Okay, by the way, we have to also have a state of show answer, because we don't want the answer to be seen all the time. Okay, so I'm just going to create another state here of show const show answer, and then set answer, set show answer, and by default is going to be use state false. So let's state it when it is false. Okay, so we don't want every time, like when the app runs and it shows the correct answer, we want only to show. So if the show answer is there, show answer, if show answer is correct or is true, and then the option and the option that is being rendered is equal to the question dot answer, then if this is true, then we should show here a class of correct answer. Else, okay, else if show answer is equal to here, if show answer is true and the option that is being selected is equal to the selected, remember we have also the selected option, is equal to selected option, then if this is true, then we should see wrong answer. Okay, else by the way, this, if this is true, and then here you should just see wrong answer. Else just leave it empty. Okay, so this is the logic, I guess. I'm not so sure, even me, it seems like it is too long. Let's first check. So here, if I select this, okay, there is no any class. I need to check, I need to be checking the HTML here inside the body. Let me first select like something here. Okay, so now let's see, look at these buttons. So for instance, the correct answer, oh okay, so first thing is if someone clicks, so if someone clicks here on handle option select, we have to set show answer to true. When someone clicks, we want to show this show answer, set show answer to true, because all options, all these options, they work only if the show answer is true. Okay, they just go back now again. So if I just click here like this one, okay, so now it is showing me, you can see it shows me this what I've selected, and then it shows me the also the correct answer. Okay, so now let's refresh the app. So the hypertext markup, it is, what is HTML? HTML is hypertext markup language. Okay, so I'm just going to click on any wrong one, and you see it shows me the correct one was hypertext markup language, and the one I've selected is hypertext markup language. So another thing, we also have to award a score on this. So we have to have the scores. And by the way, let me explain again this here. Most people have not gotten here. So we have three options. The first one is correct answer. The second one is the wrong answer. And the third one is the nothing. You shouldn't add any class. Okay, so how do we do that? So the first instance is we first ask ourselves, are we in a position to show the answer? And that's why we had the state for show answer. So we have the state for show answer. That is the state is there. Now, by default, it is false because we don't want to show the answer when the app loads. We want only to show the answer when someone clicks. That's why we are putting the show answer in handle option select. When someone clicks an option, that is when we set the show answer to true. Now, when he sets the show answer to true, here we check if the show answer is true and the option that has been selected is equal to the answer from the questions. If this, then we set it to correct answer. We give it a class of correct answer. Else, we check if the show answer, if the show answer is true and the option that has been selected is equal to the selected option. Okay, remember when someone clicks, it simply sets that option to the selected option. So if that option is just that very option, okay, because when you click it gets the option and sets it as the selected option. That's why I say if these are equal, if the selected option is equal to the option, then we set it to wrong answer. Else we just leave it like that. Okay, that is cool. So I guess you have understand that that logic. You can comment how you have understood it, or if you have not understood it, you can also comment in the comment section, and I get your opinions about that. So we also want the score at this point. So I'm just going to create const score, and here set score. Okay, and since here the score, I'm just going to say use state. Okay, and by default is going to be 0 or so. And since we have the score, then we must have also another state for showing results. So const show results. Okay, so results, and here, and let me say set show results. Okay, and by default is going to be false, so it's going to be use state, and by default let it be false. Okay, and we will have to be checking every time. So when someone selects here, okay, if he selects here, and the let me see, when we select and the option was, the answer was true, okay, if they selected, so we can just say here, I don't know if this is going to work, if, okay, if what do we want to do? If the selected maybe selected option is equal to question, okay, question dot answer, and then maybe we set score. Okay, we set score to, maybe we need to have access to the previous score, and then we get this previous score, okay, and then we add 1. Okay, I don't know if this works. Let's just say console.log console.log score. Okay, So at first, let me run the app. So at first, let's see the score. So at first, the score, I guess, must be 0. Okay. Console.log score. At first, it should be 0. Let's see if I click the right answer, hypertext markup language. JS 14, it has set it to be 14 is what? 14, is it the one, the score? Let me see. Score, set score, use state, and by 0. I need to have a way of increasing the score. Set score is previous score, then previous score plus 1. Okay. And then this one, we have also the question. I'm still leaving this one. We have these questions here, this pagination. So the pagination, it should be showing the question out of, so let's say we are just going to say here where we have the pagination. So this one is the question. Okay, just say here is supposed to be the current question plus 1, since this is the index. And then this one should be let's say it should be questions dot length, questions dot length. I don't know if it should be questions dot length. Let's see. One out of questions dot length. It's supposed to be questions dot length. Okay, out of 5. Yep. And for this button, when we click this button, first of all, let's first leave the score thing. I'm just going to work on it. So when we click on this next button, this one should change. Okay, and okay, let me first say on click. Okay, let me just go up here and I just say, so we have this function. Let me also have another function handle next click, and this function. So the first thing is to set set current question. So current question is going to get, we have to access to a previous question. Okay, previous question, let me just say QN, and set current question. So we have to get the previous question, and then this previous question we add 1. Okay, we have to add the previous question to this. Okay, let me just get this handle click, and on this there is in the footer here, and this button I'm just going to say on click. Let's just run this function, and let me see. Okay, so when we click, just click here. Okay, so it changes. Okay, and actually even the pagination changes. Okay, the pagination changes here, and the let's go. Yeah, so it is changing. You see that? Okay, that is great. And that is just like only changing this previous question just here. And next click is getting set current question. So the good thing with this function, you can access the previous question. Okay, you can always get this, and this thing you put here, this previous is a new variable you create. You don't need to say it is always written like this. So long as I have the set current question, I can have always this. I can set here a previous question, and then I can access the previous question plus 1, and this one can help to do like that. So let's go back to this. When I click, I'm still having the problem with my marks. When I go to the next one, first of all, the answer is still selected. We don't want that. Okay, so one thing we want so also on this, we have to set show answer, so answer to false. Okay, we do not want it when someone goes to the next question and the show answer is still on. Okay, so I'm just going to refresh. So let me select the answer and I click next. So you see now it deselects it because we have reset it. If I come here and I click href, it is still working, and I go to the next, it resets. Okay, that is correct. That is nice. So we set this one to false. Now we also want to, if we reach at the end of the questions, we want to show the scores. So if I keep moving, now I have 5 out of 5. If I click like creative style sheet, they show me the answer was cascading style sheet. Now at this point, if I click next, or if this, it should just remove this. Okay, after this it should just remove. You can see here we get the error. Okay, we should have the error, and we can also just do what? We're just going to make this. We don't want the error to do this, to have this error cannot read properties of an undefined ID. Okay, because it is continuing increasing. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do here, we can also, on the next click, we can also check if, because what if you check what it is doing here. Okay, if you check, we are using this the current question. Okay, so we can just say if the current question let me say, if we can just say what, if the current what, if the current question is equal to questions, if the current question, which that is the index, is equal to questions dot length, okay, is equal to questions dot length minus 1. Okay, if that is the case, if the current question is equal question dot length, so I think that is the last one. Then we can set maybe the current question, set this current question to 0. I don't know. We can just check that if that one works. Okay, so let's just go back to the continue 3, 4, 5. So if we click now, it starts again. Okay, it starts again, or we could just even say game over or something, but it starts again. So now let's also check. So what we also want to check here, okay, let me just go and say, so we have to show, we have this show results, okay. So if the show results is at the end of the game, which is it is here, like everything has ended, okay. So I'm just going to have in this quiz app inside here, I'm just going to have also an if statement here. So let me just have two things. I'm just going to put a fragment, and then I want to put an option, okay. So if show results is true, if this is true, then we're supposed to show here a markup. Just put a div, okay. Then let me just say results here. So the results are supposed to be there, else then else show there. So else just show this. So I don't know if you understand at that point. So what we want is, we want to check if show results is true, then we should show results, or we show the app. Because at the end of the app, we want to remove all this, and then we show the app. Okay, so now on the results, what do we want to show the results? Okay, so I'm just going to say put here inside. So I'm just going to write h2, okay, which says your scores, okay, your scores, and then it's supposed to have you scored. Let me just also this one as h3 maybe, and you can say you scored, okay, and then you're supposed to put a score here, okay, out of question date length, okay. So I'm just going to have here questions dot length, okay. So you're supposed to show this. And when does this happen? So this happens when the game is over, where we have our 5 out of 5, okay. Let me just go up here, when we have questions is equal to this, okay. So here let me say set show results to true. So I want, when I find them at the end of the questions, I want to show the results. So let's just continue, okay. So when we reach let's just refresh. So let's continue up to the last question, okay. 5 out of 5, and then like next, then okay, we have style. I guess, I think there is something here, yeah, we have to style this. We have to style this div here for this show results class, okay. Let me just also give it quiz app, okay. And just give it quiz app so that it can make it white, okay. So you see your scores is 0 out of 5, okay. So this one shows only when the game is when the quiz is done. So like if I just came here, hypertext markup, I come here, I have the wrong answer, I have this the correct answer, and then text color, and then let me just have like computer style like that. So the scores are not updating. That is one thing I've noticed. Okay, so let's just go back. We see to updating the scores. It is what we are having as the problem. So when do we update the scores? We should update the scores on option click. When someone clicks on the option, at that point we should get to update the score. Okay, so now I want to know, I think here is if the option, I just say, I think if the option is equal question dot answer, and I think we should just set score. Let me just see that. So we have by default 0. If I just do this, that is still 0. Let me just refresh. Okay, the answer is hypertext markup. Okay, so now it is updating. Okay, so go to that. Let me just click the right one. So now I have 2. Let me click the wrong one, and then I color. So let me just create cascading style sheet. Okay, so you have scored 3 out of 5. Okay, so you could even just convert this. You could convert that into percentage 3 out of 5. Okay, you can just convert that into percentage if you wanted, and then you show it here in the app. Okay, so congratulations, you have reached at the end of the app. Okay, so if we just look at the app here, what we have built so far, it can show you the correct answers, the wrong answers, and it can give you everything, and you can have even the scores. And now we could just even, I think, say restart the quiz. Okay, we could just also have the button which resets start the quiz again. We could just put another button here. Let me just put another button. So I'm just going to say button. Okay, and the purpose of this button is just start the quiz again. Start the quiz. Okay, start the quiz again. Okay, now this one, what it would be doing on click, okay, is let's just say function handle. I just get here. Okay, yes, we have function restart quiz, and this one would only be setting show results. I think so results back to false. Okay, it should show this back to false, and it should also set the set current question back to 0. It should just do that. And let me just go back here, add the on click to this one. Yes, on click. Okay, on click. I'm just going to say just this, restart the quiz. Let's see. So I'm just going to, okay, so just to very quickly, I want to finish the quiz just like that, and finally that. So it shows the score, and then we have this start the quiz again. If I click it, okay, so we have one error. Show results. Oh, okay, so it is set. My problem here, it is here, it is in show. This one is set. You cannot use this one, so it is set show results to false. Okay, set show results again. If I just click again, now it starts the app again. Okay, which is really nice. So there is one thing you can add on this app. For instance, if there is no any selected option, okay, you can disable this one. Okay, you can disable this, not to go to the next question. I'm just going to leave that as your assignment. Okay, just disable this, and this one should only be enabled, or it should be only able to click when there is some option selected. This is something very easy that you can implement. I'm just going to leave it as an assignment to you so that you do it. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel so that we can keep on creating content for you. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.